Hello people of the tube, welcome to this video in which I'm going to be doing a quick review of my lesson 33, which was undertaken on the 16th of December 2020. We're on day 519 and roughly 176 hours done, so well lower than I would have liked, but I am practicing for around about an hour a day at the moment, which is pretty good. So we started off just by talking about how the progress was going, and I felt that the progress was going a lot better than it has been, which is good. We still need to work on the strength and the stretch in my hand. I've started doing some bending now, which means I'm starting to feel it in the back of my hand, and also on the pentatonic scales where I'm stretching across from fret 3 to fret 6. That's quite a stretch. That's something I'm working on at the moment. So the pentatonic scales are going okay. I'll probably run through those at the end of the video rather than you watching them now. That's just going to be a memory for me as to where I am at the moment. But you'll find that I'm still buzzing a little bit on my little finger, and that stretch is slowing things down a little bit, but getting the speed up on the pentatonic scales is going to be the next thing now that the shapes are pretty much in my head, which is pretty good. Then we just spoke a little bit about where we're going to be going with this, and with the soloing over the looping that I want to be doing. So we started to talk about bending and also vibrato, because with the bending I've been feeling it in the back of my hand, and rightly or wrongly I did a little bit of research online, and online some teachers are just teaching you to just simply push up with your fingers, which is what I've been doing. I find that easier. Others have been talking about using your first finger as like a pivot point and then using your wrist to push up, and I tend to find that quite difficult, especially if I need to do something else with my first finger. And interestingly, when I started going through this with Michael, I tended to find that as I'm releasing the string, after a while where the string is actually eating into my finger, because it's still quite squidgy, I tend to get a pull off. So what Michael has suggested that I do is I use my first finger just to lay down so that it mutes the string that you're bending, and then that resolves that particular issue. So if I'm using that first finger as a pivot, then I'm tending to find that I'm coming off of the string as I release. So I'm going to be working on either pushing the strings up with my fingers, or whether I'm going to be pivoting with my wrist. I'm going to work on which of those works best for me. Now with regards to the vibrato, again I did a little bit of googling around between lessons, and most of the lessons that I saw were giving you know, quite a fast vibrato, and I was like really struggling with that. And when I've been playing to get to slightly slower vibrato, I've simply been using my finger up and down just to move the tension on the string. Michael actually said there's two main ways of doing vibrato. One is that you just use your finger and you move the string up and down as you want to. The other is to rotate your finger up and down on the string, so you're actually moving your finger left and right, which is then going up and down the string. And you can do that either with your wrist, or because my wrists aren't great, then you can actually do it from your arm, and I found that to be a lot easier. And what Michael's trying to get me to do is to do that more slowly, so like that. So rather than going like this and it's going all over the place and it just turns into a bit of a mess, the sound just becomes a little bit of a mess, what I'm going to try and do just slow it down a little bit, get the feel. And I am starting to get the feel. I'm doing this on Sunday now, this recording, and we did this on Wednesday, so I am starting to get the feel of that a little bit more, and it comes more from like my elbow and then the wrist a little bit more, and then my hand. So I'm trying to use that technique a little bit more, because if you use your finger up and down, that's okay for like the slower or the medium speed vibrato, but if you want to try and get a fast vibrato like a lot of people do, then really I think that's got to come from your wrist arm. So that's part of what I'm going to be doing, working on the bend technique and working out which one works best for me, and also the vibrato technique. And that was basically the lesson done. It was only a half-hour lesson, so going through those techniques took a little bit of time. And I did finish up with a Christmas song, which I will talk about in a different video, because whilst I threw out the guitar challenge to all of you guys, somebody did actually hit me with a guitar challenge almost 12 months ago. It was actually New Year's Eve where this challenge was laid down. And that's something that I'm going to be working on over the next week. It's going to be my Christmas week challenge for myself, and I'll do another video on that, so I don't waste your time now. So that was lesson 33. The other thing I should mention is that somebody mentioned on my channel that I, as a beginner, shouldn't be giving lessons. These videos are not lessons, they're lesson reviews that I can look back on and see what we did in certain lessons and what Michael and I spoke about. So it's a video diary rather than me giving people lessons. I know that a few of you have said that it helps and that you're learning things, and that's brilliant, but you do need to keep in mind that I am only a beginner and I am not professing to be teaching anything in these videos. I'm making tab available for things that I play because some people want to follow along. Some people are gauging their progress against mine, and I know quite a few people that have been struggling with their guitar progress. They've then seen my channel and seen how I've been progressing, and that's encouraging them to continue and to push through the hurdles and the brick walls that we all hit. So that's great, and that is part of the reason why I'm putting this journey online. But please keep in mind that I'm not a professional, I'm not qualified, and you need to keep that in mind. Anyway, I'm just going to finish up just by running through the exercises that I've been working on and the pentatonic scales. And I've also got some little soloing exercises that I found on Darrell Braun guitar, and 12 or 10, I think 10 solos that every guitarist should know. I think that's basically the video that I found. I did talk to Michael about those at the end. I did the printout, he had a look at them and said that there's some good little exercises in there just to encourage me with the vibrato and the bends. So again, that's been added into the homework for this particular couple of weeks that are coming up. So anyway, that's it. Thank you very much. If I don't see you before, have a fantastic Christmas. And thank you ever so much for everybody that supported the channel during 2020. It's certainly building much better than I thought it would be. I expected this just to be a video diary for myself, and it seems to be turning into a lot more than that. So thank you ever so much, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care. Bye bye. Fingers buzzing. So a few little buzzy notes, a few little missed notes. With the shape 5, what I'm trying to do is to do it all with my first and my ring finger rather than my little finger. And the stretch from the 9th to the 12th fret is a bit much. I need to just work on my hand positioning a little bit more. Tends to be a bit hit and miss at times. And then we've got these little soloing exercises. Let's just have a little look at one of these. Sometimes with that one I'll just go you could probably hear just a little bit as I'm coming off, then I'm just pulling off a little bit. I've got to get my first finger to mute the 4th string a little bit more. Better. Okay, and then we've got the next one. To work on the accuracy a little bit more and then get the speed up a little bit more. I've only been working on these for a few days, so that's my excuse anyway. This one's quite interesting and I find this one quite hard. Work on that one. So basically what you're doing is you're barring on the 5th fret string 1 and 2, and then you're playing 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 8th fret on the 1st, back to the 5th on the 1st, 8th on the 2nd, 5th on the 2nd, then you got the bend on the 7th on the 3rd string, and the release, 5th on that 3rd string, and then 7 on the 4th string, and that needs to have a vibrato on it. So yeah, only just started to do this one. This one's very, very new. You heard there I caught my fingernail on the 4th string, which tends to be a bit of an issue that I have, something I need to work on. I'm going to need to work on that one a little bit. And then the last one that I've been working on so far is a chromatic lick, which is something along the lines of and I often miss that high E string on that one. tell, only really been practicing this for a few minutes. Bit better. So anyway, those are the first few licks that I'm working on, and that is from Daryl Braun Guitar, and I will leave a link to his video in the description below. So that's basically what I'm working on, and then the Christmas song, which I'll cover in another video, probably later today, depending how time goes. So thank you very much for watching. Catch you again. Bye bye.